The brand new squeaky clean League One campaign is just around the corner, folks, and we've got 24 clubs all set and ready to go to try and get themselves up into the second tier of English football. Who's going to be celebrating come May? We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction show today. We'll take a look at all of League One, boys and girls. That's right, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button to get you bang up to date with all things League One related, Blackburn Rovers related, World football related. We're going to all here, boys, under one Rooski. That's right, boys and girls. Yes, League One extensive coverage right here at Blackburn Rovers. So make sure you smash the old subscribe button because we're going to be covering it match day by match day. You don't have to go anywhere else for your League One predictions right here on the channel. So we'll talk more about that in a minute. I want a big shout out because we've got a brand new Patreon, boys and girls. Respect. That's right. Nathan Heaver has made it 14 patrons for the gang. Respect to you, sir, for joining the club. They become an extended family and all that kind of jazz. We're going to be having Thanksgiving later on this year. You and I will we'll put it on Twitch. I'll be eating my turkey and all that kind of stuff, and you can watch me pig out. That's OnlyFans, boys. OnlyFans, boys. But anyway, yeah, big respect to Nathan Heaver becoming number 14 for the Patreons. He does join Ultra Omamira, who was unlucky for some. Number 13. We are wide open for patrons, though. If anyone else is out there, there's a link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas, to support the channel in another way. Become an executive producer right here. Of course, Ultra Omamira and Nathan Heaver have joined the likes of Dylan Goddard, William Shepherd, LG and Cow, Bianca Molnar, Daniel Mellor, Cody Gaho, Jakob Johansson, Tom Beresford, Tom Clark, John Spurn, Russell Frost, and Aztec. Marky B. Mark. Respect to them all. Respect to them all. So let's jump into the vortex here. Hang on a minute. Let's get rid of this pop-up. Cheeky little pop-up there. So here we go, boys and girls. Now, if you've never seen one of my league predictions, we like to do it a little bit different here. We like to start smack dab in the middle and work our way down. Yeah, and of course, League One is a Bobby Dazzler of a division here. It's a little bit lopsided. There's probably 10 teams, I think, that can get themselves promoted to the Championship next season. And there's a massive divide of who's going to be in that promotion sort of battle and who's going to be in the relegation battle. So we're going to start smack dab in the middle. Who do I have? Who do we have? We have Burton Albion, of course. Burton Albion. Let's take a look at them now. Last time out, of course, last season was abruptly ended. For Burton Albion actually finished in. Where did they finish last time around? I can't really see it. Where are you, Burton Albion? Finished in 12th last time out, so actually one spot better, one spot worse off, in fact. Burton Albion are actually, if you take a look at the odds, 33-1 to get themselves to become champions of the division. So they are long shots. They actually open up their campaign. Who will they be playing on their first game of the season? So yeah, Burton Albion will kick off their campaign on the road against Fleetwood Town. That's right, Joey Barton's Fleetwood Town. Yeah. I'm not anticipating too much from Burton these days. They are currently managed by Jake Buxton, of course. I think he's a new manager, of course. Was it Cluffy Boy there last time around? But yeah, Jake Buxton coming in pulling the strings, and I think it's going to be a bit of a tall order for them, for him to try and get themselves up and moving and towards that top half. But have an okay season, a bit part season as well. Next up, who do we have in 14th is Northampton Town. That's right, Northampton Town coming up through the playoffs last time around from League Two, managed by Keith Curl. He's been there, seen it, and done it as a player, and also as an assistant. I think he did okay. Of course, they did lose Charlie Good. It was their Capitano last time around. He's gone off to Brentford. Of course he would. Of course he would. So he's basically leaped this division straight into the Championship as well. They're a decent little unit, Northampton Town, and of course they were in League One when Rovers were in League One. I think they'll be okay. They're not going to be too disheartened. They're actually 50-1 long shots. Probably fourth favourite to go down, according to my eyes. But I think they're going to be much better than that. They'll kick off their campaign against Wimbledon as well. They'll have a bit of money to spend because of that deal. And at this level, you can get some Billy bargains. And again, the transfer window's wide open. I think mid-October, I think it's slam shut. So yeah, I don't know what they've done so far transfer wise, but I do expect them to be pretty decent. But okay. I think they would not turn their nose up at 14th in the division as well. Into 15th, we have Doncaster Rovers. And of course, Doncaster Rovers finished last time in 9th. They actually take on Blackburn Rovers next weekend, actually, on the 29th, which is the day after my birthday. Again, if you want to support the channel in another way, as a birthday gift to me, you can check out the old patreon.com/Roverseas. Check that bad boy. There's a link down below. But yes, big day on the 28th, but 29th, we take on Doncaster, who finished 9th last season. They are actually, who's managing them these days? Is Darren Moore. how recent a change is that? He was manager last season as well, taking over from Grant McCann, finishing ninth. Not bad first season for them under his mentorship, but I think they're going to struggle a little bit this time around. Second season syndrome for Doncaster. But hey, to be honest with you, if with Darren Moore in charge, I'd like to see him do much better than that. If I'd done my homework a little bit more, probably would have pushed him up further up the table on that one. But 15th spot for me. Next we have 16th place is Milton Keynes, managed by Russell Martin. They've got Dean Lewington as El Capitano these days. Of course, MK Dons barely survived last time around, finishing in 19th spot. She had more points than Rochdale in 18th spot. Of course, the points per game ratio and all that. Of course, they've strengthened. I think they brought in matey boy Ben Gladwin back to the club, and I thought they've also brought in another ex-Rover as well. I can't really remember, but I do expect a much better season this time around. MK Dons will kick off their campaign on the road to Doncaster, who we did miss last time around. Doncaster's odds for the title are actually 28-1. Meanwhile, MK Dons are 33-1. So those two sides around about the same sort of spot on the table, and I've got that right here in my league there. So Doncaster 15th, Milton Keynes in 16th. Into 17th we've got the Green Army, that's right, Plymouth Argyle, 33-1, long shots, fifth favourite as well to go down, and they will open up their campaign against Blackpool, who I have probably further up the table. Of course, Plymouth coming through. Did they get were they champion? Was Swindon was champions? I think Plymouth must have been second or something last time around. I can't really remember. Let's have a quick scan here. Last time around they finished in third spot, that's right. So yeah, Plymouth, Green Army. I think, to be honest with you, I think they deserve to be much higher in the football ladder. I think they're around about the right sort of division, maybe top end. I do expect them over the next couple of seasons to get their shit together and maybe start to compete for promotion to the championship. But this season ain't going to be it. Currently managed by Ryan Lowe, formerly of Bury, I think he was. He, of course, jumped ship there when that all went south, literally. And I think Plymouth will be all right this season. Again, get themselves quite clear of that of relegation trouble as well. So Plymouth for me, Green Army, 17th spot. Next up we have Gillingham in 18th. Of course, last time around they finished up as high as 10th. That's right. Of course, this, it is swings and roundabouts, boys and girls. You could have a really good season. Of course, they lost Tom Eves last time around. They're currently managed by Steve Evans. Oh, that's a good shout. He's a decent manager at this level. He's yet to decide his captain. Again, I might have got that wrong. I think I highly rate Steve Evans at this level. He's done wonders previously. Was it Rotherham? I think he was manager at Rotherham. He did well. Had a bad spell at Leeds. Didn't really get the benefit. Did fantastic at Mansfield. Again, a little bit harsh. Peterborough. He's at his level. He knows what he's doing, and I think he'll do very, very well for these boys as well. And again, it's a bit harsh for them. But yeah, I'm stuck with it now. Next up, we have Crewe Alexander. Of course, they finished second on League Two last time around, and I do expect them to be in the relegation dogfight this time around, managed by David Artell, the Gibraltar. Perry NG is El Capitano these days. Of course, formerly a familiar name with creating football talent over the years. Might not be necessarily these days. I think the last decent player they had was the guy that went to Manchester United and then Wigan, Nick Powell. That's right. I think he came through the ranks of Crewe. But yeah, Perry NG is always a decent sort of defender, has been linked with higher moves in the past, but stayed loyal to Crewe in the end. Next up we have Bristol Rovers. That's right. I have them down at 20th in a bit of a relegation dogfight. Of course, they finished 14th last time around, and of course they've since replaced their manager, I believe. Graham Coughlin was the manager last time around. Ben Garner's come in, who, to be honest with you, I don't know too much about. Ben Garner, former assistant at West Brom, former youth coach at Crystal Palace, youngster, been given his first chance, and he's been mentored by Mourinho. So maybe that's been the seal of approval there. So first managerial experience or job for him, up against always staring in the shadow of their fellow Bristol team. Bristol City, of course, had a bit of a bit of change of manager as well just last season. Again, I see a season of struggles for them this time, especially with an inexperienced manager who's been thrust in the deep end with League One. So yeah, but I don't expect too much from their 20th spot. I'll keep them in the division, but only just. Who will go down though? I have Accrington Stanley. Who are they? Battering above their station, of course. Last time they finished in 17th spot. They're always going to be in everyone's conversation for relegation. I want to see them do well. They are a local club, of course. I'd love to see them up further up the table as well, but do expect them to feel the pinch this time around. around. Again, the COVID scenario has not done a lot of these clubs the world of good, especially a club the size of Accrington Stanley. John Coleman's been there, seen it, and done it, and if anyone can get them out of it, it will be him. And if they do go down, I do hope they stick with him, because he'll get them back. He'll bounce back within too long. I always think that they're sort of, they're faking it till they're making it sort of stuff. I just always think they're going to struggle, but they've always seemed to hang on. So Accrington Stanley for me going to go down. Joining them will be AFC Wimbledon, another club that's been struggling at this level for a few years, and I think it's going to bite them in the arse this time around. They just survived last time around in 20th spot, 35 points again in the points per game basis. Currently managed by, who are they managed by these days? It's Glenn Hodges. Was he there last time around? He was. So he's been used to the struggles of years for Wimbledon, so I do expect them to be similar. But I think they're just gonna feel the force this time around. I think they will not survive. They'll go down, kicking and screaming. Of course, joining them will be Rochdale. Of course, no longer managed by Keith Hill, managed by, who is it these days? Brian Barry Murphy is a youngster. Of course, he is. Got Callum Camps as El Capitano, former Rochdale player as well. Been there. He is 42 years of age. Former Preston North End man as well, former Sheffield Wednesday player. I remember him from his my football manager days way back when. Again, another young manager. He's got a big old task on his shoulders this season. I do expect him to struggle. They've been there or thereabouts over the years, of course, with Keith Hill in his heyday. They had Rochdale up further up the table, but I think those days are long gone. I think they're going to struggle this time around. Joining them in the relegation spot will be Shrewsbury, of course, a team that was doing so well in Rovers season out in League One, but this time around I think they're going to suffer. They finished 15th last time around, 41 points on the board. Currently managed by who is the gaffer these days? Sam Ricketts, another youngster, formerly of Arsenal as a player, I believe. Was it Tottenham? One of the two. Nope, not that Ricketts. Wolves, former Wolves man. There he is. Previously managed Wrexham. It's been around since 2018. Rohan Ricketts is the one I was on about. Last time out, of course, they finished in 15th. Yeah, I just think they're gonna feel the wrath this time around, and they'll suffer, go down, and go down hard. Of course, 24th spot in the division. Into the top half we go. Who do we have? We have Swindon Town. That's right. I forgot to give you the odds. Let's take a look at some of the odds. Then I've actually blitzed past them. Where did I leave it? I left it with Milton Keynes. Milton Keynes are actually 33-1 for the title. Gillingham, Plymouth, 17th spot. They're 33-1. Gillingham are 33-1 as well. Crewe, where are they? They are 28-1 further up the table. Bristol Rovers 16-1, so they actually quite fancied. Accrington Stanley 50-1, one of the third favourites to go down. AFC Wimbledon 66-1, they are second favourites to go down. Rochdale 100-1, first favourites to go down, and Shrewsbury Town, who are 33-1 to go down. Swindon Town, though, they're 22-1 for the title. When I say all those 66-1 and all that, that means for the title. Just saying. So Swindon Town are 22-1 for the title. Of course, they finished champions of League Two last time round, on level on points with Crewe and just 1 point more than Plymouth. These days, they are currently managed by Richie Wellens. Yeah, that's right. Former Man United player way back when. It's been there, seen it and done it as well. Got the T-shirt as well. Former Oldham Athletic manager as well. Played for Salford, played for Leicester, played for Blackpool. Yep, decent little player. In his youth, of course, now pulling the strings for Swindon, doing very, very well for them as well. I do expect them to compete. They're a side that I remember from way back when in the Premier League. That's right, I think they were one of the founding members of the Premier League, and they've fallen all the way down the football ladder since those days. I do expect them to do very, very well this time around. They've got the facilities to do it, playing at the county ground, 15,000 usually. Decent little team there. Next up, we have Lincoln City. That's right, currently managed by Michael Appleton, of course, ex-Rovers manager as well. He's a good assistant manager these days, trying to cut his teeth for Lincoln. Lincoln last time I finished 16th. I do expect a much better improvement this time around. And again, the season was abruptly halted. Lincoln will kick off their campaign against Oxford, of course, high flyers as well. And Lincoln are 20-1 long shots for promoted, around about 10th favourites. So it's about right, I think, on this one. Next up, we have Ipswich Town, of course, managed by ex-Blackburn Rovers manager Paul Lambert as well. So two ex-Rovers managers in this division as manager as well. A lot of people would expect Ipswich to be further up the table, but they did have a really nightmare season last time around, finishing in 11th. You would expect them to be in the top 6 at least. And even if the season was played out to its full capacity, it probably wouldn't have made it. So Ipswich Town struggling. They're losing a lot of their key players as well. I think Gwyn Edwards is linked with quite a few championship clubs as well. A player that we were linked with in the past. Of course, not really delivered for Ipswich so far. But yeah, I think there's a bit. I think a lot of Ipswich fans wouldn't mind seeing the back of Paul Lambert. To be honest with you, and the bookies give them 12-1. They're actually 7th favourites to go up. I've got them in 10th though for me. And did I say where they'll kick off? They kick off their campaign at home to Wigan. That's right. Into 9th spot we have Hull City. That's right. I'm going with Hull on this one. Of course, relegated last time around for the Championship. They've just had a bit of a mess and still got the same shitty owners. Paul McCann's not really had. He's been given a bad roll of the dice or bad pack of cards. Really, it's just not worked out for him. They've got the if they've got the money that they made from the Jared Bowman, if that was invested into, or at least even maybe like 20% of it, 30% of it, they could easily afford the quality to get out of this at the first attempt. But I think they're going to struggle. McCann did okay in his first job at Doncaster. He was given a really exciting opportunity at Hull, but it never worked out for him. Hull City are actually 5th favourites for the title on this one, 11-1, joint favourites with or joint 5th alongside Oxford. For me though, I just see another season of disappointment. And they need to get back at their first attempt, to be honest with you, but I think they'll struggle this time around. Into 8th, we have Posh. That's right, 10-1, second favourites for them. They're going to lose their top goal scorer, I think, Ivan Toney. 10 million, or maybe even more than that. Could be off to Celtic, could be off to Brighton, could be off to anywhere. He's looking to get into the Premier League. Of course, Peterborough, managed by Darren Ferguson. He's been there, seen it, and done it as well. With this club, he seems to be Peterborough through and through. Last season, they did finish credible 7th spot, so around about the same sort of stuff these days. And again, losing your top striker or one of your top players as well. I've also Marcus Madsen, I think, is no longer there as well. I think his contract is up. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I do see a bit of change if they can spend some money on it and bring in some decent replacements for some of the key creative players that they've lost. They might push further up the table as well. So Peter are actually second favourites alongside Portsmouth as well. Blackpool I have in 7th, of course. Matey Boys now manager for Blackpool. Neil Crickley, formerly of Liverpool, took over from David Dunn who was caretaker last time around. Jay Spearing, of course, ex-Rover, as captain's armband as well. They've been there, seen it, and done it. Blackpool, and I'm hoping that they can go at least one further and maybe even make it into the playoffs. Last season they did finish in 13th spot, but this is the first full season for Crickley. They're actually 20-1 long shots for or middle of the road shots for promotion this time around. And Blackpool will open up their campaign away to Plymouth. Into 6th, this is it, playoff territory, and I'm giving it to Wigan. That's right. They're currently going to be managed by Liam Richardson. Is that a permanent deal? Sam Morsey's El Capitan for the time being. Of course, there's a bit of a fire sale going on at Wigan. I don't know what's going on. If the new owners come in good time and maybe even create some money for investment, then maybe Wigan can bounce back at the first attempt. But realistically, I think a 6th spot finish would be a decent sort of return for what's going on at the moment. And then if they get into the playoffs, they might be able to bounce back at the first attempt. Of course, absolute horrific stuff for them as an opposition fan. You don't want this. You don't want this at all. Wigan will do okay, but it'll be interesting. It'll be very, very interesting. Wigan are actually 20-1 long shots as well. Middle of the road shots, but I've got them in the playoff spot. They should be content with that. Into 5th, it is Joey Barton's Fleetwood Town. Of course, we just smashed them in a friendly 4-1. Finishing 6th last time around, finishing 5th this time, going one better. Fleetwood Town will kick off their campaign against Burton, of course, and I do expect him to be, he's a fighter as Joey Barton. He was very pissed off last time around with the season abruptly ended as it was because despite them squeaking in the playoffs, I think who did they play? Did they play Oxford? I can't really remember. I think they played Wickham. And I don't know. I can't really remember the playoffs, to be honest with you. But yeah, he's a scrappy old unit. Is Joey Barton, and he'll scrap it out for these guys and trying to deliver success as well. So Fleetwood Town have been there, with Uwe Rosler in charge and all that. They've been in and around this sort of stuff before, and I'm liking what he's doing there for Fleetwood Town at the moment. So yeah, I do expect him to be in the playoff mix this time around. Next up, we have Sunderland. Of course, been in this division a couple of seasons now. They need to get their shit together. And of course, finishing last time around in 8th. This time, they're going to kick off their campaign against Bristol Rovers. The manager this time as well is Phil Parkinson, formerly of Bolton. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced, to be honest with you. They are actually first favourite. They are favourites to be champions 7-1. If they do bring in Danny Graham, which is what there's rumoured, they might be further up the field than that, and he might deliver the goals or have the savviness to get them competing in the right direction as well. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. For right now, I'm going with 4th, but if they make the additions that they've been rumoured to, they could get into that top 2. Into top 3, it is Oxford United. That's right. They're actually 4 favourites, 11-1. They'll kick off their campaign on the road to Lincoln City. Of course, Oxford, managed by Carl Robinson, did a fantastic job getting them into the playoff final, and to be heartbroken the way they did against Wickham hurts, of course, but I think they'll be in that discussion again. Unfortunately for them, they'll go the same avenue into the playoffs in my eyes. So Carl Robinson, good manager, of course, did phenomenal early, and has always been linked with Rovers in the past as a decent option. So I'd like to see him succeed for himself, and hopefully he'll do it this time around. Into second, we have Portsmouth. That's right, currently managed by Kenny Jackett. Goodness gracious me! Last time out, they finished in 5th. They are third favourites, 10-1. So it's around about that. They'll kick off their campaign at Fratton Park against Shrewsbury, and expect them to piss all over them in that game as well. So Portsmouth, of course, they've lost some of their key attacking players over the past couple of seasons. So Tom Naylor wears the captain's armband these days for Pompey, so a lot of responsibility going to be on his shoulders to kind of steer them in the right direction. But yes, bookies have them at 3rd. I have them at number 2. Who do I have at number 1? I have Charlton. That's right, who are down in 12-1. They are 6th favourites for the title, but I think they might have lost Carl Taylor or Lyle Taylor, whatever his name is, to Nottingham Forest. But if they can keep Macaulay Bonne, they'll have themselves a 20 plus goal scoring machine right there. And of course, if they can keep Lee Bowyer, Charlton through. It was harshly relegated last time around out in the Championship. But I think that they'll bounce back as Champions this time around. They know it. They've been there, seen it. Of course, they had playoff success last time around. They were in this division, but I think they'll go one better. And of course, if they can keep everything together, keep the manager, keep Macaulay Bonne, they'll have all the tools in the tank to get themselves out of the division at the first time of asking. But that, my friends, is what I think will happen in League One and in the 2020-2021 calendar season. Hopefully, we'll make it through a full season without any major abruptions like we did last time around. Get your own predictions in the comment section down below. We'll do it all again, of course. We'll take a look at this in January, see where we're looking, and then we'll take a look at it in May and see how embarrassed I am when the likes of Rochdale and Shrewsbury celebrate promotion. But that, my friends, is it. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that thumbs up. If you are new, bang the old subscribe button and get you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, League One related, World Football related. We're going to all here, boys, under one roof. Another reminder that we'll be covering League One in full extensive detail, match day by match day by match day by match day. And of course, we'll have its own prediction league for the very first time on the channel. And I guess the best way to keep up to date is bang the old subscribe button, boys and girls. Bang the little bell as well. It should be in the bottom right hand corner, wherever it is down there. And of course, if you want to go that extra punch and become an executive producer of all the videos here at Blackburn Overseas, get in the old description. Go to patreon.com/overseas and become my Patreon, boys and girls. Right before my birthday. That's right. These videos should be pumping out right before the specialist day in the whole wide world. That's right. Friday, the 28th of August, I will be comatose with cake and all kinds of stuff. I'm just going to be pigging it out as we await the start of a brand new season. League One coming very, very soon. Until then, I'll see you all very, very soon. I'm out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.